What is going on, Yankee fans? Back at it with the 161st Street Show. My name is Joseph Esposito, your host, and a lot of topics to dive into today. First being the Yankees, win another series. They take two or three from the Texas Rangers. Quickly go over and recap the series, but don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Yankees, how you think they're performing, and what you think they could achieve this season. But we'll dive right on to the series recap. So in game one, it looked really bad from the jump. Elmer Rodriguez was really struggling in the first inning. He gave up 3 runs, 37 pitches. It's Brian Yarbo was up in the bullpen. It looked very murky. He was able to somehow get out of it. He still didn't feel great, even though he was able to get out of it. Jacob DeGrom was on the other side, and it was kind of one of those situations where you spot Jacob DeGrom a 3-run lead. It's usually lights out for your team, but Yankees fought back right away. Aaron Judge doubled. Cody Bellinger just narrowly missed a home run. That's the second time in the last week that Bellinger has just missed a home run off of Jacob DeGrom. I think he also missed another one recently as well. He's having a lot of bad luck hitting the top of the wall, but Cody Bellinger's on fire. So RBI double makes it a 3. Ryan McMahon hits a 2-run home run to knot it up at 3, and then it stayed knotted up at 3 for a while. Elmer settled in, was able to scratch and claw his way to 4 2/3 inning, and overall, Elmer obviously got sent back down after this game, and he's only 2 starts were against the Texas Rangers, where his control was very not great. So I think this was a great opportunity for him. I'm very happy the Yankees did this. Even though the results weren't great, I think that Elmer dipping his toe in, getting a feel for what he needs to do at the major league level to get the results that he wants. He can obviously fine tune some things at Scranton, work on things, and then obviously when he eventually comes back up, whether that be this year for either a starting spot or bullpen spot next year, whatever the case may be, he can be more prepared and have a better idea of what he needs to do. But back to the game, as I said, knotted up at 3 until Jazz Chisholm hit a huge go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 6th off of DeGrom. Yankees were able to tack on 2 more that inning off of DeGrom, tag him for 6 earned runs in total, and they were able to pull away from there and win the game 7-2. Again, awesome to see that this team has so much fight. I can't even describe how many times we've seen this exact story with this team where, obviously not talking about this year, more so talking about recent years, where they go down early and it's just lights out. They just cannot seem to fight back. Even when they do fight back, their bullpen lets up runs, and then it's the game's just over. But not this team. This team consistently seems to fight back and get back into games. It's awesome to see. It's super fun to watch as a fan. Loved it. Game two, not as fun. Brutal to watch, to be honest. Warren had his first stinker of the year. He gave up 6 runs, 7 hits, walked 3 batters. He also gave up 2 home runs. It seemed like he was obviously gave the home run to Seager early, but it seemed like he was working his way around him. He had 5 strikeouts through 2 innings, but it just seemed like his command wasn't there. And when he was throwing in zone, there were a lot of mistakes, a lot of hanging sweepers. Evan Carter got him for one off the foul pole, unfortunately, and it was just. And Warren's been so great this year; it's hard to really get on him over one bad start. It's just super unfortunate. And then, man, Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi just has this team's number. I don't know what it is. When he sees those Yankees pinstripes, he turns into an absolute demon. Ever since the Yankees released him after a second Tommy John, I think it was in like 2016 or 2017, he just seems to want to shove it up the Yankees. You know what? Every time they see him, for credit to him, he does it literally every time. Twice in a week, he shut us out. Last week, and now he got only gave up 1 run. That being an Aaron Judge home run. And yeah, this was just that was all she wrote for the offense. Again, such a boring game. I know you look at, expected batting average in the Yankees, expected batting average in the game was about 60 points higher than the Rangers. Still didn't feel like it was a ton of bad luck. Of course, there were a couple hard hits outs here and there, but I mean, overall, again, Nathan Eovaldi just had their number. The only other positive takeaway of this game, shout out Yeri De Los Santos. He was able to eat up 3 1/3 innings, save the bullpen, which ended up being huge in game 3, which we'll dive right into, which was funky in its own right. Even before the game started, it got announced last night that Ryan Weathers was going to be scratched from this game. Apparently, he had been dealing with an illness after a start against the Orioles. He told reporters that he lost 9 pounds in 2 days after a start, which is good Lord. He must have been going through hell. I can't even imagine losing that much weight, but obviously probably didn't feel up to, being able to pitch up to, what he felt his capabilities are. I believe they say he's going to start on Monday. But yeah, so then Paul Blackburn had to draw the start as the opener. The Yankees also called up Brendan Beck to be the kind of bulk man behind Paul Blackburn, and the game, obviously, as I mentioned, crazy from the beginning. It was already a weird, and then first bat of the game, Brandon Nimmo hits a line drive to left field. That's a deep fly ball. Jason Dominguez makes probably, I don't know if I'm misspeaking, but probably one of his best offensive. Oh, I said offensive. One of his best defensive plays in left field, and he went back, great route to the ball, catches it, and then he just slams into the wall, and right away, like the impact. I mean, his hat shot off, his glasses shot off on impact. He went in hard to the wall, and he wasn't getting up, and it was just did not look good. They had to bring out the cart. When he did get up, you could see he was emotional, had tears in his eyes, which is, man, your heart really goes out to Jason Dominguez. I mean, he came up a few years ago, was crushing it. Then has to have Tommy John surgery, has to work his way back. Performs offensively good last year, and obviously defensively, he just became unplayable. And then obviously Bellinger and Grisham, performing the way they did, just unfortunately left him without a spot come postseason time. Then this season, same thing. Grisham, Bellinger, Judge is back, stands obviously DH. He has no spot coming out of spring training where he performed really well. Goes down to AAA, performs really well. Stan gets hurt, gets his opportunity. I mean, then he has that he gets hit in the hand last week against the Rangers, misses a game, and then this happens. You really do feel for the guy. I mean, he's so talented. He has all the ability in the world. I hope he can, heal up. It is an AC joint injury that Boone said after the game. Will be missing a few weeks. Luckily, he did pass his concussion test so far. Hopefully that continues because even, I saw a tweet from Clint Frazier who had kind of a similar scary situation where he got a concussion and he said like, oh yeah, this looks way too familiar. So I hope that's not the case. I hope he can, avoid having any concussion related symptoms because I mean, the AC joint injury stinks enough for him. I really hope he doesn't have anything else to deal with. Anyway, back to the game. Goldschmidt and Bellinger each had a triple in the bottom of the first to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. The Rangers then got a solo shot and an RBI ground out from former Yankee Ezekiel Duran, who was just killing them this series. So annoying how every time I feel like you remember, oh, the Yankees, are playing a former Yankee, like with their own whatever team. Does not matter what their stats are. Doesn't matter if they're having a good season, bad season. They just seem to kill them every single time. It drives me insane. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, good for him. Good for Ezekiel Duran. Anyway, so the Rangers were up 2-1. Yankees were pretty much, being shut down. Mackenzie Gore, they weren't really generating much offense. And the bottom of the sixth, they start to scratch across some offense. They ended up loading the bases. And then Grisham gets him finally for a 3-run bases clearing double into the left center field gap. Also, just another side note, Skip Schumacher really did not do a good job managing this series. It was very clear in that sixth inning when Mackenzie Gore was out there that he was out of gas, and he just kind of left them out there to die. Like there's no reason he should have been out there for Grisham in general, but you could make the case that he shouldn't have been in there for after pretty much the first guy got on. It was not good. So anyway, the Yankees were able to kind of never look back from there. Ended up winning the game 9-2, taking the series. Kind of run through a couple quick notes from this series and then obviously get to the exciting news that will be at the end. Cody Bellinger is absolutely on fire right now. He's up to a 147 WRC plus on the season after a slower start to the year. Man, I mean, Bellinger's swing decisions, his exit velos, been doing a great job of getting on base. Everything has drastically improved so far from this year, even after last year where he was so great. I mean, it appears like he almost found that perfect blend of that old Cody Bellinger, like MVP Dodgers Cody Bellinger, as well as the player he started to develop into when he went to the Chicago Cubs, where he's just combining, all those exit velos, those good swing decisions, obviously his great defense, his great base running. I mean, Cody Bellinger is just a great baseball player. It's so fun to see him play. I was glad. Somewhat wrong. I knew Cody Bellinger would be good. Like, I didn't think it would be a bad thing that the Yankees, were resigning him. But I was adamant that Kyle Tucker was the clear better choice, which at the time and by all indications that seemed to be true. But so far this year, Cody Bellinger has been a much better baseball player than Kyle Tucker, flat out. And I hope he keeps making me eat my words. I would gladly be. I love being wrong about things when my opinion happens to be negative on the subject. I would much rather be wrong than be proven right. 100% of the time, especially when it comes to the Yankees. I would much rather be wrong. Additionally, Ryan McMahon is also red hot. His at bats are much improved. Smoking the ball, hit 110 mile per hour double today. Had another 100 plus mile per hour hit as well. His at bats have been really good. Like, as I mentioned, his bats have been really good. He's just laying off pitches. The pitches that he seemed to consistently be whiffing on, he's at least, getting a piece of them, fouling them off and battling. And then that's really all you need out of Ryan McMahon. He's going to hit 7 through 9 for you. You just need him to put together good at bats, make the pitcher work, get on base here and there, play elite defense at third base. He doesn't need to be a 120, 1W, like a 125 WRC plus player. If he's, you know, somewhere in that, 90 to 95 range with paired with his defense, that's a great player. I mean, that's exactly what the Yankees need, especially with, the contributions they have at the top of the order. That's all they need from Ryan McMahon. So let's hope he keeps it up. Ben Rice didn't play this series. He including the game he missed against the Orioles. He's now missed four consecutive games with a hand contusion that he suffered, I believe, in the Sunday game against the Orioles on a pickoff attempt from Max Fried. I think the Yankees are obviously slow playing this. There's no reason to rush him back. Obviously, the team is still winning, and you don't want to risk, Ben Rice exasperating the injury anymore. Aaron Boone had said that, he hasn't done much baseball activities yet. They're really, I guess, just trying to let the hand rest. Unclear if he'll, play early in this Brewer series. I kind of have a feeling, just based on saying he doesn't really have it, hasn't had many baseball activities, that he probably won't. He did say he doesn't plan on putting him on the 10-day IL. So we could see him back, maybe middle game or final game of the Brewer series. Hopefully, just want to see Ben Rice back because obviously he's been a demon this season. He's batting, what is it, like 320, has 12 home runs. I mean, he's been awesome to see. I just want to watch him play baseball because he's so fun to watch. Carlos Rodon will make his season debut with the Yankees in Milwaukee on Sunday. He finished up his rehab assignments. Obviously, the results, you take it with a grain of salt. It's a lot like spring training. Especially when it's coming back from an injury, you just want to make sure he's recovering well. His velocity's there, all this breaking, his off-speed stuff has, the same sharpness. And in that regard, it seemed like everything kind of came out, as good as expected. So, excited to watch Carlos Rodon pitch. Obviously, that 5 spot in the rotation for the Yankees has been weak so far this season with Luis Hill and Emil Rodriguez. So excited to see Carlos Rodon back and see how he can perform against the Brewers. And now for the talk of the town, you could say today in Yankees land. It's unfortunate that, it took a Jason Dominguez injury for this to happen. You never want to see that, but still be excited about as a fan. Spencer Jones is being called up. He is the Yankees number 6 prospect. Obviously, this guy's calling card is power, power, power. This guy hits the ball hard. He hits the ball far. He is so fun to watch. You see highlights of him, and it is watching his, not even like his pull power. Obviously, it's ridiculous, but like his ability to hit the ball to center and opposite field is absolutely insane. Like he bombs. Like he does not hit wall scrapers. Just to kind of go over his stats and kind of what his AAA season has looked like so far. He was really struggling early on in the season. Through his first 8 games, he had a 212 batting average, a 297 on base, 485 slug. That is combined with he had 5 extra base hits, 2 of those being home runs. He had an 8.1% walk rate, and this is almost unbelievable to say out loud. He had a abysmal 51.4% strikeout rate. Like 1 out of every 2 at bats he was striking out. Like, I mean, and again, we'll get more into his his profile, but that is the Spencer Jones experience. Sometimes, unfortunately, he gets cold, and that's kind of what seems to happen. But then the exciting part, in his last 25 games, he's been red hot. He's had a 276 batting average, 390 on base percentage, 632 slug. Had 13 extra base hits, 9 home runs, a 14.3% walk rate, and then down to a 25.7% strikeout rate. Much better to look at, cut right in half. He's also leading the minors and all baseball levels, so obviously included Major League Baseball with 41 RBI so far this season. As I kind of alluded to before, Spencer Jones is a very exciting prospect, don't get me wrong. He's also extremely volatile, and it's really hard to project how he's going to perform in MLB, at least when it comes to the bat. So while he's currently running 99th percentile in expected weighting on base average, exit velocity, barrel percentage, etc., that's also coinciding with the fact that he's first percentile in whip percentage, and zone contact rate. That's also so with the zone contact rate being first percentile, the really concerning part is that he is 84th percentile in zone swing rate. So he's swinging when the ball's in zone, but he's still not making a ton of contact, which is very concerning. I did see his stat from, I believe it was TJ Stats on Twitter, that he had been closer to, I believe it was like 10th percentile in this recent run in terms of zone contact rate, but obviously not good. But when you consider his profile, if he's boosting that up to eighth, ninth percentile, I mean that's a huge jump for him, and that makes a very, very big difference, as you could see in the numbers that I showed you before. And obviously, he's seventh percentile in K rate. He strikes out a lot. He's gonna be a very interesting subject, like when it comes to Yankee fans, especially depending on how he starts out. I mean, if he starts out hot, of course everyone's gonna love him, love all about it. But if he starts out slow, I'm expecting a high strikeout rate, a high whiff percentage, and people will not be happy with that. I know how people felt about the Joe Gallo experience. Obviously, that's a little different considering we had to give up prospects to get him, and it was kind of a hired gun situation as opposed to people generally give a little bit more leeway to like the homegrown type of people. But so we'll kind of see on that. Like as I mentioned, he's the definition. He's going to run hot and he's going to run cold. So we'll see how that works uh, when he comes up. I'm assuming he's going to make his debut on Friday. He's drawing a tough matchup in Jacob Mizorowski. He's an awesome pitcher, high velo guy, crazy slider. Excited to see how he'll fare against him. That'll be very interesting to see. But with all that being said about his bat and the concerns and whatnot, there are other benefits to Spencer Jones, and it's not just his power. He also plays center field, which is kind of unbelievable to say at 6'7". Not only does he play center field, he plays it at an above average level. He's a very good defender, very capable. You saw some highlights of it in spring training. Obviously, you see highlights of it in AAA, and then he could also steal bags. So I mean, if you have a center fielder that can play good defense, even average defense out there, could steal bases. I mean, obviously hit, 30 home runs. You could be a 3 to 4 WAR player and not in your that's with your WRC plus coming somewhere around the league average mark of a 100. So that is the really exciting part about Spencer Jones is there's so much promise even when you outside of just the bat, that as long as you're getting him to just, if he could run like, for example, a good player comp from him to a degree is Matt Wallner of the Minnesota Twins. Obviously, he has a high whiff percentage, high strikeout rate, but he has crazy power, crazy velos, all that kind of stuff. So if he can run if his MLB averages look like Matt Wallner's, Spencer Jones, like I said, 3 to 4 WAR player, possibly even a little bit more. I mean, he definitely has, as I mentioned, all the potential in the world. So it'll be very exciting to see him. Again, I have a feeling he's going to be extremely polarizing to the Yankees fan base. We'll see how it goes. But that's all I have for you today, folks. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you excited to see Spencer Jones in the Bronx? And I'll see you in the next one. Let's go Yankees, everyone. Have a good one.